Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Picture this for a moment. It's late winter, the air around the Rogers Center feels heavy with expectation, and somewhere behind closed doors, phones are buzzing, agents are whispering, and the Toronto Blue Jays are quietly smiling. Not because they've already won something, but because for once, the baseball universe seems to be bending ever so slightly in their favor. Today isn't just another free agency update. This feels like one of those moments where timing, patience, and opportunity collide, and if you blink, you might miss how perfectly it all lines up. Everything has fallen into place for the Toronto Blue Jays, and the latest reports swirling around the league suggest that one key free agent pursuit is reaching a critical crossroads. This isn't just about who the Jays want, but who their biggest rivals might finally be willing to walk away from. When information like this drops, it changes the temperature of the entire market, and suddenly the Jays aren't chasing anymore. They're waiting, watching, and choosing. Before we go any further, take a second to show some love to the Blue Jays report by liking the video, sharing it with fellow Jays fans, and subscribing to the channel. The support lately has been unreal, and as spring training creeps closer, this is where we break everything down, calmly, clearly, and without the noise. Now here's where things start to get genuinely fascinating. A report surfaced from Bob Klapisch, a name that doesn't shout often but carries serious weight when it does. According to Klapisch, the New York Yankees have made an internal decision not to engage in a bidding war for Cody Bellinger. They've placed their offer on the table, 5 years, $160 million, with opt-outs built in, and they are not moving beyond it. In a market defined by excess and ego, restraint like that speaks volumes. The moment that news landed, it was as if the chessboard shifted. Another Yankees insider quickly pointed out that Klapisch rarely tweets, and when he does, it usually means something is close. The implication was clear. Bellinger could be on the verge of leaving New York's orbit altogether. And that, Jays fans, is where opportunity begins to smell a lot like inevitability. For Toronto, this is a win-win scenario unfolding in real time. If the Jays want Cody Bellinger, they now know exactly what benchmark they need to beat. They can choose to outbid the Yankees slightly, stretch the term, or even flip the script entirely with a shorter, high AAV deal. And if they don't land him, there's a very real chance he ends up outside the American League East altogether, which is still a victory in its own right. Interest around Bellinger remains strong, but selective. The Mets are lurking, though reports suggest they'd prefer something short-term. Scott Boras has already confirmed Toronto as one of several teams monitoring the situation, and that was before the market thinned out further. The key difference now is silence. The Blue Jays have gone quiet, and historically, that's when Ross Atkins tends to strike. Let's address the elephant in the room, because I know the comments will be split. Is Cody Bellinger worth a massive deal? On pure $4 value alone, probably not at the extreme end. But baseball isn't played on spreadsheets. It's played in divisions, ballparks, and October pressure cookers. Bellinger is a premium defender, a left-handed bat, and a player the Yankees clearly don't want to overpay for, which should tell you everything about how dangerous he can be in the wrong uniform. If Toronto could land him on something like 3 years at a high annual value, the risk becomes manageable and the upside enormous. Even stretching to 6 years, while uncomfortable, carries strategic weight. You're not just adding a player. You're subtracting one from New York. And history has taught us that sometimes the best move is the one that hurts your rival most. Bellinger's recent numbers tell a story of peaks and valleys. An .881 OPS with Chicago in 2023 reminded everyone of the star he once was. A more modest .751 OPS last season raised eyebrows, but context matters. Injuries, adjustments, and environment all play a role. His defense, however, has never left him. He remains one of the best gloves in the game, and that alone stabilizes an outfield. People tend to exaggerate how much Yankee Stadium props him up. Yes, it helps. But Rogers Center isn't the offensive wasteland it once was, and Bellinger has proven he can hit elsewhere. He's not Kyle Tucker. He's not Bo Bichette with the bat. But he doesn't have to be. He just has to be himself. And let's not forget, the Jays have a habit of zigging while others zag. They move quietly, methodically, and often through trades. Even if Bellinger isn't the final piece, the fact they're connected to him tells us something bigger is brewing. This front office isn't done, not even close. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, make sure you're subscribed to the Blue Jays Report. This is where we keep perspective when emotions run hot, and trust me, this off-season isn't done surprising us yet. Zooming out for a moment, roster flexibility will be critical, and that brings us to Ernie Clement. Clement recently spoke about embracing his role as a utility player, and his comments were refreshingly team-first. He loves bouncing around, loves enabling the manager to ride the hot hand, and loves doing whatever the lineup needs. That mentality becomes invaluable if another outfielder arrives. With players shifting across the diamond, Clement's versatility acts like connective tissue holding the roster together. Second base, third, shortstop, maybe even the outfield in a pinch. He's the kind of player every contender quietly relies on, and his postseason performance last year proved is more than just a filler piece. He's a weapon. Then there's the move that flew almost completely under the radar. On January 15th, amid the chaos of bigger names, the Jays signed a young Venezuelan catcher, Juan Carasote, for close to $2 million. That's not pocket change in the international market. That's belief. Scouting reports paint a picture of a balanced, athletic catcher with advanced receiving skills and comfort handling high-velocity pitching at a very young age. For an organization looking to rebuild depth behind Alejandro Kirk and solidify the future of the position, this is the kind of move that matters years down the line. It won't grab headlines today, but championships are built on signings exactly like this. Depth doesn't scream. It whispers. And the Jays have been whispering all winter. As we sit here, with spring training just over the horizon, everything feels poised. The Yankees are holding firm. The Mets are cautious. The Blue Jays are patient. Whether Cody Bellinger ends up in Toronto or not, the landscape has shifted in a way that benefits the Jays regardless. So now it's over to you. Would you welcome Cody Bellinger in a Blue Jays uniform, even at a premium? Or would you rather see him walk away from New York and out of the division entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is far from settled. Thank you for watching, thank you for supporting the Blue Jays Report, and as always, stay locked in. The quiet moments are usually the ones right before something big happens.